Warning, the following podcast has been classified as insanely lucrative. Listener discretion is advised.
Focus on that one store, learn a lot, optimize, can build this business into something pretty solid.
Your attention, please. Listening to the AMPM podcast may cause recurring revenue streams and unfair advantages over your competitors. Other side effects may include fatter wallets, fired bosses, and longer vacations. Listen at your own risk. Here's your host, seven-figure entrepreneur and online marketing madman, Manny Coates. Manny Coates.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the AMPM podcast. My name is Manny Coates, and I will be your host, and this is the show where we discuss all things Amazon private label and how to generate recurring revenue streams 24 hours per day during the AM and the PM, hence the name of the show, AMPM podcast. Get it? As a matter of fact, I was setting my health-based New Year's resolutions, and while I was doing that, while I was setting up some healthy alternatives to my life, I was making money. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. So guys, we are here with another FAQ series episode of the podcast. It's where we get in and get out with one question. We know you guys are busy. And as always, I am joined by my co-host, Guillermo Puyol. Guillermo, welcome to the show. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing awesome, man. How are you, man?
I am good. So how was your Christmas?
It was good. You know, I have 3 kids, so it's awesome for the kids. But actually, I love Christmas myself. It's always a good time to relax with the family and get some goodies in, get some goodies out.
There you go. Did you get some Xbox play going?
You know it.
If you guys don't know, Guy loves his Xbox. I love my Xbox too. I got to find more time to do it. Play some racing with you. I know you're big into that.
Yeah.
So we have a question today. I assume you've picked one out for us, and we're going to... Guys, by the way, when we do these questions, they're unrehearsed. The last one we just did, you'll hear, I completely misinterpreted how the question was supposed to be, I guess, but Guy corrected me, and we do this essentially live, and yeah, I think it's cool. It's raw, and so yeah, hit me up with this question, Guy.
Alrighty. So again, as always, this one comes from the Amazon FBA High Rollers group on Facebook. Highly recommended. Some awesome people in there.
Where do they go to get that, Guy? To sign up?
Well, either on Facebook by looking at FBA High Rollers, or you can go to ampmpodcast.com and you'll find the link on the sidebar.
Cool. And there's what, 15,000 people in there?
Just about, yeah.
15,000 Amazon sellers, guys. It's very active. One of the most active groups, I think, on Facebook related to Amazon. So, and Guy and myself are both in there as well. And that's where you're going to be posting your questions if you'd like them to be talked about here on these FAQ series.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, one question in and out, and we're done.
All righty, and this one says, in order to generate more profit/income, should I opt to sell more products in one marketplace or move to other marketplaces?
All right, that's a great question. Boy, there's so many different ways of answering this. The answer that I would say almost everybody else is going to give you, and you know this, Guy, is they're going to say, hey, don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? If you are only on Amazon, you're at high risk of having your business killed off at any moment, right? Yeah, you're making all this money, you're making 6 figures a month, let's say, and then Amazon decides to suspend your account for whatever reason, right? You're done. Finished. Now you've got to go into panic mode and try to get all your inventory back and create another account or get unsuspended or do whatever it is that you've got to do. So that's what everybody teaches you. And I feel like, man, Guy, I feel like this is kind of misleading to a lot of the new people. I think that's great advice for people that have been around for a while. But for new people, I think new sellers they get into a state of overwhelm. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I think that's advice for later on. Once the business matures a little bit, then you may want to expand. But I think focus is very important to begin with.
Yeah. I mean, think about this, guys. When you're starting out, you're learning everything. And I can speak of this myself. You know, my experience in Amazon and selling on Amazon is only just over a year old, right? I started 13 months ago, essentially. And that first year is just nonstop learning. And when I started this whole thing, I had to concentrate and focus on not only learning everything related to selling on Amazon via FBA and everything that goes along with private label, but then at the same time, also expanding that out to, a Shopify store and then going to Walmart, right? And then selling on eBay and then going over here to Jet and to wherever else it is that you're going to be expanding, right? So that your eggs are not all in one basket. I wouldn't have been able to do it. First of all, I wouldn't have had the capacity mentally to learn everything well, right? And to optimize everything as I should. But I don't have the time. I was already working like crazy just on one platform. So you can imagine if you're expanding it out, the problems and difficulties you're going to run into, right? You have to now manage, let's just say you're on Walmart and on Amazon when you're starting off. You've got two different marketplaces, right? You have to upload everything twice. You have to manage the pay per click twice. You've got to upload everything twice, manage the customers, if they have complaints or issues, the shipping, everything is doubled, okay? So it just becomes crazy. So my recommendation is if you're starting out, for the most part, if you're less than even, I would say at the very minimum 6 months, maybe even up to a year, focus on Amazon. Okay, I don't think it's going to be going anywhere. And if it does, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to get crushed in this, but focus on that one store, learn a lot, optimize, you can build this business into something pretty solid. And for me, 2017, this is my second full year that I'm going to be going into business now, right? I've done 1 year. This is the start of my second year, my full second year. I am going to be focused on expansion now. Now I want to get into other marketplaces. I want to get into Walmart. I want to do specific things that I haven't been doing. I want to get into other Amazon markets. I'm only on the .com platform, right? I'm not in Canada. I'm not in the UK. I'm not in Japan. A lot of these other big markets that I want to get into. So yeah, that's what I would do. But I've been doing this now for a year. For somebody that's starting out, Guy, I don't know if you agree or disagree on any of these points, but I would say focus, maybe do Joe Lister, just so you're on eBay with your products, and that takes, only you could get that done in an hour or whatever. Other than that, I would focus on just the one.
Yeah, I think the question wasn't specific to what stage the person is asking is at. So if they're already selling 6 figures, or if they're well established, then by all means they can expand to other marketplaces. But do not underestimate the time that it's going to take to do that. One way to go about it, if you're already selling a decent volume, would be to get, for example, a virtual assistant that's going to be kind of like your marketplace manager, and make sure that they are helping you keep an eye out on Walmart, keep an eye on Amazon, Rakuten, and all the different marketplaces. So that could be a way to go about it and expand without losing your mind. But if you have a large inventory or a large number of SKUs, and if you want to go to all kinds of different marketplaces, it's going to be hard as a one-man show.
Yeah. And your costs go up too, guys. If I'm sending everything from my supplier, if I've got a supplier in China and I've got 6 products and I can fill a container with those 6 products, right? And I get it shipped over to Amazon, I only have to ship it to one place versus if I now have to split that shipment and send it to different warehouses, your costs are slightly going to go up, right? Maybe dramatically. It's just the logistics of everything go up in terms of how much time, how much effort, everything, the tracking, the accounting becomes more nightmarish than it is initially when you first start out. I'm flubbering here, Guy. I need more coffee. More coffee. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's what I would do. And I guess the question he had asked, should I opt to sell more products in one marketplace? And my answer would be, yeah. I would expand out on that product, your brand, whatever it is that you're trying to create, and come out with different variations of whatever it is that you're selling that's selling well. And at some point, as your revenue grows and as your expertise in the market grows, then do exactly what you said, Guy. Start hiring some assistants to start taking over the things that are eating up your hours in a day. And eventually, you get to a point where hopefully you can kind of sit back and manage everything that's going on instead of being the guy that's, doing 25 different things in a day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So any other parts of that question you want to hit? All right, did we hit it pretty good?
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
We should call it under 10 minutes if we wrap up quickly and move on to the next one.
Yeah, well, you already mentioned where everybody can go to join our Facebook group and come and chat with all of us. That's the Amazon FBA High Roller, so definitely check that out. And yeah, that's it, guys. That was the one question. I'm going to have more coffee because I can't speak. And until next time, my name is Manny Coates. I'm here with Guillermo Puyol. Take care. If you enjoyed this episode, definitely check out episode number 96. In that episode, we're going to be discussing what kind of profit levels, the percentages that I look for when I'm sourcing new products, and also we'll be discussing the costs associated with each product. Definitely check it out, episode number 96. Hey guys, Manny Coates here. If you've been following my podcast, you know I'm a huge fan of the Helium-10 tools for Amazon sellers. I only use the best tools out there, and the Helium-10 suite of tools are, in my opinion, best in class. Now, just because I'm the founder of Helium-10 doesn't mean that's all I use, right? I go where the money's at, and if there's a tool on the market that I haven't made and that tool helps me make money, I'll use it, and I'll talk about it here on the podcast, and I'll even link to it in our tools section at the ampmpodcast.com website. But I can honestly say that there's no place that I know of where you can get all the important tools that an FBA seller would need in one place, where the tools work with one another to help you save time and make you a lot of money. Now, the Helium-10 tools have had a huge hand in helping me go from zero to over $1 million in Amazon sales in just 10 months. Okay, keyword research, listing optimization, and a super tool called 5K Checker that makes sure that the words in my listings, okay, the front end and the back end, are actually indexed by Amazon. And guys, if you're not checking this, you're leaving money on the table for sure, because Amazon is always tweaking their search engine. Okay, so I always use 5K Checker every single month on every single one of my listings to ensure that my listings are still indexed for my keywords and that I'm still pulling in customers like crazy. If you're a longtime listener, you know I'll never use a tool unless it can save me a lot of time or it's gonna make me a lot of money. So I'm confident Helium-10 will do this for you guys, all right? There's a money-back guarantee, so there's no risk. Check it out. Head over to helium10.com. Helium10.com. That's helium10.com.
You've been listening to the AM/PM podcast hosted by Manny Coates. For more information, insider tools, and to get the resources mentioned in this episode, visit ampmpodcast.com.